Hello all, welcome to the Django series. So in this video, so what we are gonna discuss is nothing but developing our first web page. Yeah, so what we are going to do, we are going to develop our first web page. Okay, before this, I want to make it clear how it works and everything. Okay, so how Django works and everything, I want to explain you. See, Django, if you have not observed these previous videos, please do watch them. You will get a clarity regarding this. See, Django works on the principle of MVT. What is the principle? MVT. So what do you mean by MVT? See, other frameworks works on different principles, but Django works on what? MVT. Clear? So that is the principle Django uses. Okay, so that is what the principle Django uses to work. Okay. So M stands for what? M stands for model. Okay. Okay. W stands for, sorry, V stands for view and T stands for template. Clear? That is the meaning of MVT. Then what does it means? How actually the things are going to work? Okay, so if you want to understand that, so let us understand clearly. So now what do you mean by MVT? Exactly how the things are going to work. So let us understand. Okay, so now assume that you go for in Instagram or whatever it may be. Okay, so assume that you want to open Instagram, clear, and you want to search something, then you will get one response, like you will get one result. The same way I want to explain you Django how it works. Okay, so that is what I want to explain you. Fine, let us understand that. So what is the process, how exactly, what happens and everything. Okay, see, now assume that you are the user. Who you are? User. Now what you will do? Okay, you are the user, so you will use one browser. Okay, so Django is a web. Okay, so it's a web framework. In the sense, by using this you can only develop web applications. What you can develop? Only what? Web applications. You can't develop Android or you can't develop desktop applications. You can develop only web applications. Okay, now what you will do, you will open one browser. So what is a browser? Browser can be anything, like it can be Chrome, it can be Firefox, or it can be anything, any browser. Now assume that, okay, you want to open Instagram. Okay, so what you will do? In Chrome you'll open Google. Okay, so you'll be opening what? Google, something you will enter here. In Google you will enter instagram.com. Now what you are doing, you are entering the information. Okay, so here you are given. After entering, what you do, you will click, no. Now whenever you click this, now this information is sent. Okay, now this is what you sent. Now this thing only we called as what? Okay, you are sending a request. What you are doing, you are sending what? Request in high level. The same thing in internally we call it as, okay, HTTP request. What we call it as HTTP request. Okay, that is what we are going to call it. See, middle there are so many things like DNS results will be there. Okay, packages will be there. Whatever it may be, there will be so many things in the middle. I don't want to talk it. Okay, so just I want to give overlay of it. Okay, now this request will reach to your server. And what happens? Your request has been reached to what? Server. So whenever it has reached, okay, so you know about server, na? Server is nothing but a computer. Server is nothing but what? Computer which provides services. Clear? Now that particular computer only we call it as what? Server. Fine. Now whenever it reaches, now what? Computer directly will never give, oh, you got a server, okay, request, take this. It will never be doing. Okay, there will be some processes. That is what I'm going to discuss now. Okay, now whenever it reaches your server, now what happens? Now always your request first, okay, it will reaches to one particular file or one particular module called URLs. Where it reaches to the URLs. In the sense, it will check whatever he is requesting, whether it is available inside my, okay, responses or not. It is going to check it. Clear? That is what URL does. urls.py we call it as. So what it does, it checks whether the given content is available or not. Okay, so that is what whenever it reaches request like urls.py, fine, your request has been reached here. Now, if it is present, so what your urls.py will do, it will take your request and it will transfer to another file called views.py. It will transport to another file called what? Views.py. So what is that views.py? Now views.py is a file. Okay, views.py is a file or it can be anything. You can give anything, but as per standards, we'll be using views.py. Okay. So views.py is a file. So what this file does? Okay, so that is important. From URLs, you need to navigate to what? Views.py. Okay, you should have to tell in URLs. Okay, if someone requests this, I need to give a response. Okay, that is what you should have to tell it. In views.py files, you will be having def like this, you will be having n number of functions. What are you going to have? N number of functions going to be present inside views.py. Fine. Now what happens whenever you send a request? Now that request is navigated to views.py. So what is your views.py will do? It will execute that particular function. Okay, now what that function does, that function if required, it communicate with what? Your database. Clear? It is going to communicate with your database. After communicating with the database, what it does, it will communicate with what your another templates, or it will be communicating with what your templates. Template is nothing but HTML files. It will communicate with what? HTML files. Clear? Your function is going to communicate to the database. It will get the data. Now that data need to be wrapped and need to be displayed. No, browser understands what? Only HTTP response. That will be in the form of what? HTML, CSS and JavaScript. That's the reason what happens now. Your response will be wrapped in the form of what? HTML. Now that HTML response it creates. Okay, this complete blunder. Okay, I can say it creates one HTTP response and it gives to what? Browser. So browser understands so that you can also be understanding. So this is what complete cycle we call it as request response cycle. Okay, fine. In Django, where it is inside what? Django. Then okay, fine. So what is MVT? See, M is nothing but model. Model is nothing but your database. Clear? View is nothing but function or a task what to be done. Clear? Template is nothing but what? A HTML file. Clear? So I can say model is nothing but a data where it is going to be stored. Okay, view is nothing but okay how that data will be transported or transported. Okay, template is nothing but what you like how see view will tell that okay so how need to be transported, but so how to wrap in which order and how everything will be told by what your HTML. Clear? The same thing. Let us understand this particular scenario, how it works. Okay. See, you want to search some girls or boys' names. Clear? You want to search your boy's boyfriend or girlfriend's ID. Okay. So how it works now? Whenever you enter Instagram.com, so what happens? It will reach to the URLs. Clear? It reaches to what? URLs. Now it will check. Is there any Instagram.com or not? Yes. Views will say, oh, there is a thing. Now what happens now? If it required, it will communicate to the database. Otherwise, directly what it does, it will take the template and it will show home page. Now in home page, you got a search button. Now what you will do, you will enter some name. Whenever you send, you are sending a request now. What happens? It will go to the URLs. Okay, it will search with this particular okay pattern. Do you have any data or not? Particular function will execute now. Now this will check whether that particular user is available or not into the database. If it is available, it will wrap in the form of what? Template and gives you what? Response. You will be seeing that response there. Got my point? So this is how your request response cycle works. The same way today also, what we are going to do, we are going to develop our first web page. In the sense, the same cycle, we are going to do it now live. Okay, so we are going to achieve it. Clear? So to do this, so what I want to do is I'll open terminal first once again. Okay, so as we discussed previously, so terminal is not available. So let us open terminal. Done. So, okay, now what I'll be doing, let us do ls. Fine. Yeah. Just give me a minute. Fine. You can see terminal. So let us increase the size of the terminal. Now what I'll do, I'll be typing ls. You can see there are so many folders here with my name. Don't need to be worried. So in this, as I told you, I created some folder which is available inside desktop, right? So let us go to the desktop cd. So I'll be telling desktop. Okay, so desktop, then let us do ls. In desktop I'll be having okay, folder called Python projects. That is what I need to open. Now, how to open it? So let us say cd Python. I can say underscore projects. Okay, so sorry. Projects. So let us open it. Now you see where I am inside what? Python projects. So let us make ls. Now you see I am having my environment. So I want to open environment. I want to activate it. So directly in Mac we are having a command source bin or sorry source my env slash bin slash. So command will be what? Activate. Okay, so let us get this command activate. Now you can see here my environment has been activated here. Okay, so in Windows you'll be having a different command directly you can use. Okay, so cd with respect to that, then you'll need to use a command called what? Activate or deactivate based on your requirements. Okay, fine, this is okay. Then next what you want to do? Okay, so let us create a project. So how to create a project now? Let us create. Okay, so I can say my uh, to create it we need to use Django, right? Django hyphen admin. So I'll be telling start project. Here Django hyphen admin start project, then followed by you can give a project name. So what is that project name? Project name will be my pro. You can say project name will be my pro or my REQ and RES is nothing but request response. Clear? That is what I want to create. So let us open that folder now. My REQ and RES. I want to open inside VS Code. So let us say code space dot. Okay, code space dot. Let us open it. Check out now. VS Code has been opened. Done. So let us maximize. You can see this is what which has been now, as already in the previous class I explained what is init.py. So init.py is a file which will make your this particular folder as okay. Python package. ASGI stands for asynchronous gateway interface, is nothing but just like a watchman which will allow or it will check whatever the requests are coming. Now this is what urls.py. So this is the entry point of your an application. Actually from WSGI it comes to urls.py. Okay, so WSGI is the entry point. Then afterwards, second who is going to execute is what? urls.py. You can see there is a path admin slash something, right? So these things are important. Okay, so let us do one thing. Let us build our application. Okay, so let us build our request response cycle in our way. Okay, now what I will do, I want to build it. Now how to build it? So to do that, simple, what you want to do, as I told you, whenever you want to search. Okay, so let us assume that. So now what I'll do, I'll open terminal. Let us run it first. Now what I want to do, I want to run this server. So I can say Python, let us give command manage. Okay, manage.py run server. See, I want to explain it practically. Okay, you need to have a clarity that. Okay, see, so Python manage.py run server. What it's saying? Okay, actually my environment has been not activated here in this terminal. Fine, let us close this. It is saying the same thing. Okay, so it says Python can't open. So I'm inside my REQS correct only. Sorry, manage.py spelling is wrong. So let us open once again. Sorry, it's mistake. Yeah, Python manage.py run server. Let us give it S. Now my server is running. So let us open this. Now you see. So let me copy paste into the browser. Yeah, let us copy this. Let us open any browser. Okay. Yeah, so let us open this and let us type it. Okay, now you got something like this. Fine. Now you see for 127.0. This is a port number as well as IP address where your Django server is running. This is what. Fine. Now, see, whenever you hit this, so what is happening? So same, I can say same flow is happening. Whenever you enter 127 point something else, the request is sent. Now send to the urls.py. In urls.py, did you define anything to tell? No, nothing you defined. That's the reason what is your server does. So it says nothing is available. That's the reason it is giving you a rocket, which is nothing is available. If it's something is available, it shows. Okay, fine. Something is available inside urls.py. Let us understand that. What is that? Okay, so see. So we are telling nothing, no, but there is one thing. What is there now? Admin slash something. You can check with this. Okay, so let us open 127 point something. Then afterwards, let us enter slash. What I want to enter now? Admin slash I want to enter. Okay, so let us enter this. Now let us type in. Now whenever I enter, you see this is what we got it. What is this? What is this magic? Okay, you are sending this particular request with this particular thing. So Django server is giving you a response. This particular UI is given by Django server. So then you'll be having question mark. What is this actually? We got it. Okay. So Django is a battery loaded in the sense which comes with some predefined admin console some kind of stuff. This thing we are going to learn in the further classes. Okay, as of now you understand it is a built-in thing which is available inside a Django. Now the same way we want to build it now. In the sense, if you tell hi, it need to my server need to give me one web page. Okay, need to give me one response. That is what we want to build. Clear? That is what creating our first request response cycle. We are going to create our first what? Request response cycle. How actually it is going to work and everything. Okay. So for to create it, you need to follow the steps. Okay. So how to create now? To create it, simple. As I told you, first entry point is what? Path. Okay. Without path, nothing. Please understand. If you have path, then only you'll get a result. So let us understand what is the path actually here. Path is nothing but it tells how a particular person can communicate with your server. Path tells that how anyone can communicate to you. Okay, how anyone can communicate to you. That is what path. Now see, okay, assume that you are in one particular place. There is a road. Then road or route says that how anyone can reach to you. Correct or not? If you don't have route, then no one can reach to you. Isn't it? Same way, path will tell us how anyone can communicate. Clear? That is what we are going to do it. Now, to create a path, as of now you understand. See, path is a built-in function or present in Django, or path is a function present inside a Django. You can see inside a URLs. To create your own paths, okay, assume that I want to open profile. Okay, so whenever I send a request to the server, okay, something like this, assume that I want to send something 127 point something slash. So I want to send profile. Clear? Now whenever I send it, so this time it says page not found. Yes, this particular path is not there. That's the reason it is telling you what page not found. Now what I want to do is now this particular path I want to create. And whenever I enter this path, then I want to provide you a response. Now how to do it? Simple. To do that, what I'll do, I'll go to the path, same. Let us provide path as it is. I'll say, so you told admin though, I'll say profile slash, that's all. Clear? So what I'm giving, profile slash. Now whenever you give this and run it, now you see your server is not working only. Why? Because if you open the terminal and check out, you got an error. So what is that? Error says, type error, what it says, read it. Path missing one required positional argument called view. Okay. So what do you mean by this? See, path always comes with two mandatory arguments. Path always comes with what? Two mandatory arguments. Please understand. This is important, very important to understand. Okay, so let us move how to move it. So let us eliminate. Fine, let us delete it. Yeah, delete all was. Thank you. Fine. Let us understand. Okay. So your path, whatever the path you are defining, no? Let us say path you want to create. Okay, path function I'm calling it. So always it comes with two arguments. This is what argument 1, comma. This is what argument 2. Now what do you mean by this argument 1? Clear? Now this argument 1 should be always your route. What is that? Route or pattern. Route or what? Pattern. Or I can say it need to be endpoint. Endpoint. In the sense you can see here. See, online dot like online whiteboard is an endpoint, or it is a route. It is a pattern. See, after this myro.com is an okay, you leave it. We are also having 127 point something. But what is this? This particular thing we call it as what? Route. Now question comes for this route. If someone hits this, now you are getting this page. No, you can see in this website. You are getting this page, right? Now, how to load that? To define it, we need to have second argument as what? Function address. You need to define that function address. Now, whenever someone reaches this, okay, assume that one particular user enters this particular path slash. Now, whenever he asks us what I want to execute, that we need to tell, no? What I need to execute, that we need to you should have to tell, right? Now, that is what your argument to. That is what function address. Okay, it doesn't define, like it doesn't mean that you can be anything, but you should have to pass function address. So let us understand. Okay, so for that, now what I'll do here, only I'll create one function. Okay, so I'll be creating a bow. Please, as of now, make it. So def, so profile only I'll create def. Okay, so I'll be creating function name as my profile. What is the function name I'm creating? My profile. Now always remember, okay, whatever the function you are creating, views you are going to create, always you need to carry one mandatory argument. So that is what, whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. But okay, you need to carry it. If you don't carry, I'll show you what happens now. Assume that this returns, okay, hello. I'll add it. Okay, so hello, something data I'm sending. You should not be empty. Now what I will do in the place of, say, still path is missing one record positional argument called what? View. I want to consider this function as a view. So comma, in the second argument, I will give my function name. What is my function name now? My profile. Done. Now you see your server is running. Now go back. Okay, and this time you enter refresh. Now this time you got an error. What is that error? It says my profile takes zero positional arguments. In the sense, go back. See, my profile takes zero arguments, nothing. But by defaultly, one was what? Given. In the sense, any functions you are going to create or any views you are going to create, it is mandatory to carry one argument. What is that argument? We'll learn it. See, today only you can't, or one day only you can't become taller, right? You need to go through some process. Isn't it the same way? Fine. Then what is that argument? Let us pass a name anything. So let us pass R. Okay, R I'm telling. I'm passing R. That's all. Just you need to pass an argument. Now whenever I run it, check out. Okay, so whenever I run this, check out now. See, I give an R, and whenever I refresh this time you're getting different different result or different error. What is that error? String object has no attribute called what? Get. Yes, string does not have a get. Okay, so in the sense you are returning this hello. In that hello, it is searching for get. Can I say that? In this hello, it is searching for get. Or see, we know the data types, right? In that dictionary is having get, right? So let us use that get. So I want to pass dictionary. So let us pass name. Okay, so something Kasia I want to enter. Okay, so let us try this. Whether it is going to throw same error or different error. Now this time it says dict object has no attribute what? Headers. Okay, कहना क्या चाहते हो भाई? That is what the thing, right? So now at the first it gave me an error called string object don't have get. Now get is solved. Dictionary is having get. But dictionary doesn't have what? Headers. That is what it is telling. Then which object we need to pass it? Okay, to pass it, we need to have a special object. Clear? To give it as a response, we need to have a special object. Clear? So always whatever the functions you are creating, no, always they need to give a special object. Okay, as a result, as a return. Then only it works. Otherwise, it never works because it is expecting one type of object and you are passing another type of object. In that object, you are searching ABC is present or not. Definitely, it will not be present. Clear? Now how to do it? Now to do it, we are having one particular object called render. So from, okay, so from I can say Django dot views. Okay, so I'll be telling import or Django dot shortcuts. You can use that also from Django dot what shortcuts import. So what I want to import now, render. Now this is what, okay, which is required for every function need to be written. Okay, so what you want to do now, just you pass render. Now in render, you pass the data, whatever the data you want to pass it. Now render is an object you want to create. Okay, so render is nothing but what it does. So it renders your HTML data with your data and it gives you HTTP response. That is what C. So what it does, it returns an HTTP response whose content is filled with the result of calling Django, something, you leave it. But you understand, it returns a HTTP response. Remember, whatever the functions you are going to give it here, always they need to return what? Render. Okay, always they need to return what? Render. Because it is only the thing which need to be given as what? Response. Fine. So let us pass this render. You want render, right? Okay, so what do we want to do now? Let us say, okay, so let us say, pass now. This is caching. So let us pass this is caching. Done. So let us save it. Now saved, let us open the page. Now this time run it. Oh, render is missing required positional argument something. Okay, fine. So it is telling that it is missing. Fine, no problem. So what I want to do is, okay, so let us not use render as of now. Clear. So renders require something. Now, do we have any alternative without render? Yes, we are having alternative. What is that alternative? We know that we need to return HTTP response. Okay, so clear. So we want to return HTTP what? Response. That is what I want to create. HTTP response of hello caching. That's all. Open. Now let us understand. Yeah, this time we got it. Hey, we didn't understood what you have done. Yes, exactly. Let me explain. Instead of render, what I'm doing is I'm using another predefined class called HTTP response. You tell me your browser what it requires. It requires HTTP response. To generate that response, we are having one function. What is that function now? HTTP response function or HTTP response call, class call, okay, or an object call. For that, I'm passing a data. This is what the data which I'm passing. Now, this data will be given as what? Response. Clear? Now let us understand. Assume that I want to send a request. Now what I'll do, I'll send a request as profile. It checks profile is available. Yes. Then it will execute this profile. Now this profile function executes. It returns HTTP response. Now this is what the thing which will be displayed. Okay, so this is how it will be displayed there. Got my point? If you want to style it, you can add tags also. You can say h1. You can put h1 here. Okay, so but make sure that should have to be wrapped in the form of double quotes. Then you can say I'm getting in the form of h1. Now you see, am I getting one response or not? That is important. Okay, so bit confused about the render. Don't worry, I'll be covering what is render and how it works. Clear? In the next video. So I was supposed to explain that only, but I thought of this to explain. That's the reason I explained it. Clear? I plan to explain you about the render only. But okay, let us make it easy. I thought and I made it easy. Okay, now assume that. So I want to create second request response. Now assume that. So profile is done. Now whenever I want to say contact. So endpoint is what? Contact. Whenever I enter this, obviously what I'll get now? Page not found. Why you are getting? Because now your request reaches to the path here, URL patterns here. Search. Do you have any contacts? No. Then what you will get? Does not there. Then let us create it. Now can you create it? Yes, we can create. So how to create it now? So let us create another path. So for path, what I want to say now, contact. Okay, so let us put okay, contacts. Then slash. So let us say, so I need to create a function. If you don't create a function, you will never get executed. Can I pass the same function? Yes, you can pass same function. Yes. With the profile also, if you're reaching, call this profile. Okay, so let us say my profile only. I'm going to call it, no problem at all. Yes. Now let us Go back and refresh now. See, for contact also, sorry, spelling contacts it is. So let us make fine, let us make and let us run it. Now I'm getting the same response. Yes, the same function is called with the two different routes. No problem. Same place can have two different routes. Correct or not? So you can make a different also. How to make it? Create another function. So what is function now? Def. So I can say contact. So make sure that you are going to pass one argument. So then what do you want to do? You need to return HTTP response. This is what I'll be copy pasting. Okay, so let us copy paste this. Okay, in the place of hello, so I'll say this. I'm going to say it. This is contact page. Clear? So let us save and let us go and execute and check out now. See, if I refresh this, okay, nothing is coming. Why? Why? Because whenever you reach to a contact, we told still you are pointing to a profile, isn't it? So we should have to change it. So let us make a change and let us call what I want to call now. I want to call contact. Okay. Don't get confused. We can have this name and that name, function names are what? Same. Maximum everyone follows the same. So I can say contact. Now let us go back. This time, tantana. Is it working now? Yes. This is what now two particular endpoints we have created. Correct or not? Now, can I say your Django is serving something? Whenever you ask, okay, profile, it is giving you one response. Whenever you ask contacts, it is giving you one response. Isn't it giving? Yeah, the same way, guys, we can do the same. So please make sure until you come to the next video, you should have to practice this whole thing because we are going to discuss about render. Okay, that's all. Thank you.